I'd like a cappuccino and a croissant, please. I'd like a cappuccino and a croissant, please. I'd like a cappuccino and a croissant, please. Okay. Hi. I'd like a Oh yeah, real lifers. Hands up if you've been in a similar situation. Yeah, we've all been there, and if you're like me, then you've practiced so many times in your head what you want to say. You feel confident, and then just when you're actually having a nice conversation with someone and everything's going well, suddenly you're in the middle of a sentence and disaster strikes. You freeze up. Oh no, what's the word I want to say here? You just forget everything. You feel embarrassed, awkward, and ashamed because you think everyone is looking at you and judging you, right? Actually, just last week I was in my local bakery and I couldn't remember the word for cake in Portuguese, and I felt all of the emotions I've just mentioned. It is a terrible feeling, especially when the truth is your English is great, only in this moment the nerves got the better of you. Well, what if I told you there are ways you can deal with this terrifying situation so that your conversation can flow naturally and you can avoid embarrassment? It is very possible with the 4 practical tips I'll teach you in today's lesson on how you can prepare yourself for this kind of situation. But did you know that we make 2 lessons every week to help you understand fast English, be understood by anyone, and connect to the world? What I'm about to teach you is going to give you the confidence to speak confidently and really live your English. And that's exactly what Alan did. And he said that our lessons are dynamic and give lots of different tips on how to learn and practice your English. So if you also want to take your English beyond the classroom, don't wait to join our global community. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button and the bell down below so you don't miss any of our new lessons. So I'm going to explain 4 types of situations and how you can best adapt to each situation. Scenario 1, the runaway. This happens to everybody, and trust me, running away is not the answer. This may happen because you don't have many opportunities to practice your speaking, or because you feel the questions in real life are so different from what you've studied. So the tips in this lesson will help you lower your anxiety when talking to strangers for the first time. If you are a person who feels nervous when speaking with others, start exercising ways of remaining calm. You can try out meditation techniques to help your mind calm down, or take deep breaths before engaging in a conversation. It's common to run out of things to say in a conversation, especially if you don't know the person. And this happens even in your first language, so get the other person to help you. One good way to turn this around is to say, "Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let's move on." If you forgot a word you wanted to say or started to ramble, don't beat yourself up. Just pause, smile, and say, "Let me start again." Another thing you can start working on is learning to be comfortable with silence. Take a deep breath and maintain eye contact. It's highly likely the other person will ask you a question or comment on something, and then you can get the conversation back on track. Oh yeah, global citizen, understand fast-speaking natives, speak and be understood by anyone, and connect to the world for free at the touch of a button. The RealLife app will guide you beyond the classroom to live, learn, and speak English in the real world. The speaking part allows you to practice your speaking at the touch of a button, while making friends with other learners via short and engaging video and audio calls. You can also listen to our podcast with native hosts, which has over 3 million downloads. The RealLife English podcast lessons will inspire and empower you to achieve your English learning goals. Follow the podcast with transcripts and definitions, which allow you to check for words, plus dozens of definitions of the most difficult vocabulary from each lesson. To download the app today, click on the link in the description or go to reallifeglobal.com/app to get started today. Scenario 2, the quitter or slacker. It's going to help me. Okay, let's do it. Hi, I'd like a... It can be quite uncomfortable and even scary to start speaking English in the real world. Even proficient English speakers find themselves in situations in which they are not sure what to say. So, another great way to deal with a situation in which you don't remember a word or are not sure about what to say is to use survival phrases. Briefly, they are ready-to-go sentences that will help facilitate communication. You can resort to them when you feel you're not starting to follow the conversation and may not know what to say next. These are some advanced phrases you can use whenever you feel like you need to make sure you understood or were understood in a conversation. Use the words on the screen now to complete the sentences. Let's see how much you know. You can pause the lesson to give you more time to answer. How did you go? We made a lesson entirely on this topic that you can check out right after this one. Click up here or down in the description below to watch it next. Just like survival phrases, another resource you can use are discourse markers. Discourse markers are words that help the conversation flow and connect sentences together. And they can also be used to buy you some seconds to think about what you want to say next. Take a look at Andrea's explanation of discourse markers.
These words are called conversational discourse markers. Just like words such as so, actually, okay, right, they are very commonly used to help the conversation flow. They could be used to emphasize what was said before, like when she used all right, to check that the other person understood your point, like you know, or even to show the person you're changing the topic, like with anyway.
Discourse markers can be used to help you be more fluent while getting around in the conversation. The point is not to rely on them as an excuse not to take your English to the next level. The more you practice and use the vocabulary you've learned, the less likely you rely on these words. Scenario 3, the brainy one. I don't know anything about cakes, and it's my sister's birthday, so I guess, I know, I could ask questions. I can't stress enough that the best way to become fluent in English is to just go out there and start speaking. Conversations are somehow predictable. You often start with some small talk and then maybe a discussion about the weather or some other common topics, and then you can build on that. However, starting a conversation is an adventure. This is how you make friends, learn new things, and discover new experiences. The point here is that you don't need to overplan everything you are going to say in a conversation. You can navigate it naturally, and here's how you do it. If you feel you don't have something to add to the conversation, look around and find something you can comment on. You can say, this reminds me of a movie you saw, a place you visited, etc. And then throw the ball to the other person by asking, what do you think about that? Sometimes you may freeze because you are talking about a topic you're not very familiar with. I do this all the time. So use this opportunity to learn from the conversation. Ask questions rather than speaking about the topic. Show interest in it and explore the other person's knowledge of it. Hey, you might even learn something new yourself. Still talking about questions. The golden tip is to ask open-ended questions. That is, questions where the answer can't be yes or no. The simplest and easiest one is why. This simple question is likely to make people open up more, and it'll give you ideas on how to follow up on the conversation. Let's try it out. I'm going to show you 3 common yes/no questions, and I want you to try and make them more open-ended. Pause this video and share your ideas in the comments below. Do you like the city? Are you studying here? Do you agree with it? I can't wait to see your ideas. Here are my suggestions. What do you like most about this city? Why did you choose to study here? What's your opinion on this? As a teacher, I often ask open-ended questions because it gets my students to start speaking and to use your beautiful vocabulary that you know. The best way to build up confidence and start using your English right now is by becoming part of a community in which you'll feel safe to make mistakes. Use English in real life and boost your fluency to become an advanced English speaker. Does that sound like something you want to do? In fact, our Fluency Circle friend said that our course gave her the chance to do what she loves and how powerful she feels now. I want to invite you to be part of our Fluency Circle, the community of the Native Immersion course. In our 41-week course, you will master pronunciation, cultural context, and so much more. You can try it for free today with our 3-part Power Learning series. To start right now, you can click up here or down in the description below. Scenario 4, and my personal favorite, is the victor. I've got to go buy that thing for my sister's birthday. What's it called again? I don't remember. I'll be fine. Hi. Yeah, I'd like the thing that is next to the chocolates, please. Yep, that's the one. Another way you can handle a freezing situation is by using relative pronouns. Where, that, and who. I actually love playing a game in my classes where students have to describe a thing using lots of different vocabulary. So let's take cake as our example here. Do you remember that I forgot the word for cake in Portuguese? Well, I was able to effectively deal with this situation by using relative pronouns. So instead of saying, "I'd like the cake, please," I said, "I'd like that thing that is next to the chocolates, please." By doing this, I avoided the embarrassment of standing there and staring at the worker. Remember, who for people, where for places, and that or which for things. I'm going to say 3 sentences and I want you to guess what the word is that I am talking about. Are you ready? Let's go. 1. It's a person who helps the doctors at the hospital. 2. It's a big open green space in a city where people like to have picnics. 3. It's a thing we use to change channels on the TV. So the answers are number 1, a nurse, number 2, a park, and number 3, a remote or a remote controller. Did you get them all correct? Ah, yeah. So next time you don't know a word, use who, where, that, or which to explain what you're talking about. To make sure you remember words that you don't know, go home and look up the word in the dictionary. You're learning English. That's the reason why you are here, right? How long has it been? 1 year? 2? Maybe even more than 5 years. You can understand things when you read. Your listening has improved a lot. But you're growing more and more frustrated with the fact that you lack the confidence to speak to people and that you might forget a word mid-conversation and freeze up. Well, you should be a victor learner. A victor learner takes risks. A victor learner isn't scared of making mistakes. A victor learner doesn't care about the risk of freezing during a conversation. We all have a desire for certainty and stability. We all like to live in our own default setting and do things every day that assure us comfort and avoid us pain. However, the truth is, as much as we aim for perfection, perfection is really hard to achieve. Embrace your mistakes. This is the ideal situation for you and for me to learn and improve when things don't really go that well. We often say here at Real Life English, connection over perfection. Walking or stumbling your way to real life fluency is a journey, not a destination. So, what does this all mean? If you're a victor, then you will take parts of the tips mentioned during this lesson and use them to your advantage. My dad used to tell me growing up, mind over matter. And this basically means that you need to have the right mindset to continually improve. There's a part of ourselves that crave the uncertainty of the unknown. It's a calling to experience a wide range of emotions and states. As a language learner, you're saying, I'm up for an adventure. As an English learner, you have made the decision to get the best tool to launch yourself, to explore the world, and have that adventure. A victor is adaptable. You can easily change the subject or think on your feet. That is, to think quickly. So if you forget a word, you can ask a question. If you don't remember what to say, rely on survival phrases. If you panic, take a deep breath and start over. If you are not familiar with the topic, use the opportunity to learn. Don't become dependent on the tools, but use them to your advantage. Can you be a victor? I bet you can. If you want to become a victor learner, or if you think you already are a victor learner, smash that thumbs up button. So real lifers, in this lesson, I have given you some easy to apply tips on what to do if you freeze up in your next conversation. The big takeaway, or the thing I want you to learn from this lesson, is that using your skills and your English that you already know will help you reach the point where freezing mid-conversation will be a thing of the past. If you want to apply these tips, especially the tips I explained in scenario 4, then you're going to reach a level of English that you will be proud of. If you enjoyed this lesson, smash the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell down below so we can continue to help you on your journey beyond the classroom. Ah, yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
good. And you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good.
Do you like cookies?
Excuse me?
Do you like cookies?
Oh, sure.
And I'm so bad at small talk.